Do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
All right, maybe I'm not that sore, but these are going to get a workout. Trust me. I haven't had a shower yet. It's been the way the day's gone, just between you, me, and the gatepost. Started out well enough, early enough, out of bed about 6:15. I knew I had a bit of stuff on today, so I thought should start with a good breakfast. And I looked for the good breakfast here, and I found half a loaf of moldy bread. So I thought, I'm going to need something better than that. So I trundled off into town and got myself, and this should have been a sign to me about how the day was going. I went and got myself a bacon and egg burger and a coffee. So the coffee, not flash. The bacon and egg burger, though, should have been the big sign. In fact, there were 2 or 3 signs. I don't know about you, but when I order a bacon and egg burger, I expect to find bacon and egg on the burger and the barbecue sauce that I asked for. I don't expect to find half a garden, like tomato and lettuce and all that other shit at 6:30 in the morning. Okay. I should take the bacon and, no, I could probably keep the egg, but should take the bacon out and eat the tomato and the lettuce. Lettuce and I have a problem. It dates back to me being a kid, and I had some caught in my throat. It was very ugly, panicked me. So lettuce and I don't get along. I should probably do the tomato. I don't mind tomato. However, who spoils a bacon and egg burger with lettuce, tomato, and other shit? I mean, anyway, should have been a sign for the day, how the day was going to go. Well, that was the first sign. When I got the bacon and egg burger back, about 10 minutes before we were due to start hauling dirt, and I've bitten into said bacon and egg burger for about maybe the second or the third, and the egg beautifully cooked. Right in front of everybody. Painted my face. All down here. So that should have been the second sign that the day, well, I could have probably stayed in bed and done better. That's strange. I've just seen my voltage meters for the bus battery. Bit of a problem there. I'll have to go and sort that out later. So anyway, yeah, that's, that'll be the end of the day. Great. However, in between time, there has been some great learning. I've learned how to drive a dump truck. And they're a little more interesting to drive than you would ordinarily imagine things to drive would be. However, successfully negotiated very hilly areas with loads and unloaded. Supreme use, can I just say, of the Jake brake. There's a reason for that. But apparently the excavator operator, Hayden, wonderful man, gave me a 10 out of 10 for my truck driving skills today and my ability to back up where he needed me to be. And for my dumping skills, I got 11 out of 10. Apparently I could go and work on the council. My dumping skills are so good. And I just might have to, unless there's a involved. You can always go and donate at vofhq.com.au. Keep me out of the vof.com. It is not .au. Keep me out of the council. I could come to a council near you. God help you if that happens. However, I have been enjoying getting out and doing a bit on the property. And just between you, me, and the gatepost, I don't know why. I don't know where. Well, I sort of know where, but I really don't know. I can't feel it. I can't see it. But I've had to put 2 new belt holes in my belt in the last week and a bit. Well, no, actually, in the last week. From last Friday to today, yeah, so nearly a week. And there's a lot of climbing up and down into that truck, obviously. We don't have the luxury of a tipper that allows you to undo the rear gate from inside the cab. You've got to get out and do that yourself. And then climb back up in the truck, let it tip out, and then climb back down out of the truck and go and lock the gate up again, and then climb back up into the truck and drive back to where you've got to go to get loaded. So there has been a lot of climbing up and down, and my knees are not what they used to be. But I expect the X39 patches to clean me up. I just don't want to put them on yet because I want to go and have a shower in the worst way. And that's pretty much how I thought the day was going to end. But now that I've seen this battery issue, I'm going to have to look at that. I went to go and have a shower late this afternoon. And unfortunately, at some stage during the day, it may have been me. I don't think so. But for some unplugged, a solar panel may have got knocked over. Therefore, the battery's not doing what it should do. No fucking hot water. So, no hot water, no shower at the moment. So we are actually figuring that out. It may just involve a change of a gas bottle, I hope, and get a little bit of pressure behind it, and I'll be able to go and have a shower. So that is the plan. There won't be a long show tonight. So, in part because I don't know that I can keep my eyes open that much longer. It has been an interesting day. Mpox has arrived in WA. Now, 2 locally acquired cases of the infectious virus have been detected in the country. 2 locally acquired. How can you locally acquire something if it's not in the country? You must have got it from something, or did it come from a bird? I'm not quite sure, as I'm sure you're not. But it says quite clearly, acquired, 2 locally acquired cases of the infectious virus have been detected. Now, notice, words are important, folks. I keep saying this. This is a big headline. Mpox increasing in Australia with new cases in Western Australia. And then you keep reading the article. And it says the alert, West Australian health authorities have issued a warning over 2 locally acquired cases of Mpox were detected, but stressed they were not the new fast-spreading variant deemed an international health emergency. So let's just flick back. 2 locally acquired cases of the infectious disease have been detected in the country. Oh, my Lord. But they stressed they were not the new fast-spreading variant deemed to be a problem. Does that just mean, you're going to go scratching under your armpits a bit and going, woohoo, ha-ha, and looking for bananas a bit more often? Or is there really anything here? And my thoughts around Mpox and the pictures that I've seen of those who've contracted this Mpox and the pictures that I've seen of other similar infections that have come to light in the last 3 years after people were hit in the shoulder. Shingles ring a bell, folks? How about extreme shingles? Because I know someone who's been through it. Extreme shingles, with shingles on the insides of your lips, insides of your mouth, the inside of your vagina, the inside of your bumhole, this is a very, very unpleasant thing to get. Extreme shingles. Now, how do I know that it was called extreme shingles? Because that's what it was diagnosed as 2-3 years ago. Ordinary old shingles might look a bit different, but this one, much worse, much more painful. Hospital stay painful. So, Mpox, and I think if we go back maybe 2 years in the show, you'll find that this was talked about at some point. They were going to come out, and I think it was probably the first time Mpox was mentioned, and we all thought then, well, that's just simply something they're giving a name to that has been born from the slap in the shoulder. So be aware of that and protect yourselves. Hydroxychloroquine, great. Ivermectin, even better. Both awesome. And you can make hydroxychloroquine yourself. It's not hard, and there is grapefruit out at the moment. Beautiful grapefruit, very juicy grapefruit. This is a good thing. The juice isn't a bad thing to have in the pot, but the skins is where the love comes. And of course, some lemon. Put some lemons in there, the skins as well as the juice. Juice them out, then the skins, and then you boil it all. You can put some pine needles in there after you've boiled it for a good couple of hours, and don't let it steam away, so to speak. What you're trying to do is capture that liquid, because that liquid that is being generated is hydroxychloroquine. And eventually, as you simmer the whole thing down, that's what you'll wind up with. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Strain it all out, put it in a mug, put it in a jar, put it in a bottle, and take a teaspoon or two of it a day. That's what I've been advised, and I have actually tried to make hydroxychloroquine. Who knew you could screw up grapefruit? I bought cantaloupe. Me and fruit, never a good thing. Speaking of good things, if you're living in America at the moment, you are 100% absolutely under no doubt that that strange woman who's been running around behind Biden for the last 3 years is going to win the States of America. And of course, the Democrats are working this week on their conference. And I think tonight or overnight our time, or possibly Michelle may, let me just have a bit of a look. Michelle Obama may have come out already. I know that Barack Obama is due out at some point, well, maybe in the next few hours. Oh, it looks like he's already been out too. Shut up. Apparently, she came out and gave a big serve to somebody, mostly social media types, possibly because of that flapping thing she has in her pants when she gets on television and dances around. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the offending bit, and I haven't really got time to sit here and read it now. And I'm not that interested at the end of the day. Obama will be the interesting one, how he supports Kamala. And that will give him another 4 years of control, because God knows she's not capable of doing the job. I mean, seriously, folks, seriously, she is sad. Very, very, very sad. And she has been the vice president presiding over this. So since the Biden-Harris administration took over, petrol has gone up 50.5%, electricity 31.7%, fuel oil used in heavy shipping and that sort of stuff, 49.1% increase, airfares up 22.6%, hotels up 51.2%, groceries up 21.6%, eating out up 23%, baby food up 30.1% in cost, K-12 food, I don't know what the hell that is, 65.5% up, and rent has gone up 22% in America as well. sounds a lot like Australia, and I'm sure if the comparison were to be done, you would find very similar numbers to America right here in Australia. Why? Well, that's the way that the Biden-Harris administration have run. Now, do you seriously think that the American public are voting for those two buffoons to get, well, her buffoon, and I couldn't even tell you the name of the bloke that is running for VP. Can anybody? I do know that he's been accused of stolen valor, and that is a fairly serious charge. He's an ex-Marine. He tries to claim that he was a master sergeant, and apparently failed every master sergeant's task, never completed the paperwork, and was retired, or he got out of the Marines just as they were going to Iraq for the first time. Not having to go at him for that, he'd done 23 years. It might have been time to go. Can probably understand that. But to then claim that you are, of all things, a master sergeant, and expect the veterans in the Senate, let alone the ones roaming the country, to support you, unbelievable. But if you listen to mainstream media, the polls are saying, oh, Camilla is just, leading the way, charging forward. Trump's in shock. Walz, his name is Walz. Tim Walz, I think. So the Harris-Walz campaign leading ahead. So what did Elon Musk do today? He said, I'm going to have a very unscientific poll. Now, this was on Twitter. Since a lot of people have asked, he goes the super unscientific poll. Who will you vote for, Trump or Kamala? He's ticked Trump. 75%. And that's, Vince did this for me only just before the show started. So this is the latest figures. 75% of those who voted, and I think there's over 3.5 million votes, are voting for Trump. 25% are voting for Kamala. Now, that's improved from the figures that I saw earlier in the day, where Trump's lead was 78% over 22. You can be sure that the leftards at the Democratic Congress now will be pushing hard to get that vote turned around. After all, they're pretty good at trying to coordinate voting, aren't they? So you watch, that figure will change pretty rapidly over the next 13 hours. That's how long they've got left. And the leftards having their happy clapping festival at the moment at the Democratic Convention will be working overtime to try and push that vote up. It is an unscientific vote, but I think it's pretty accurate. Elon Musk also made another announcement today, and it wasn't that he's going to buy back all those Tesla batteries. It was, in fact, that he was prepared to put himself up for service as something Doge. It's a bit stupid, but he is willing to serve. And I think that if there is an election and if Trump is elected, I don't see that Trump wouldn't have him on board, because he brings so much to the table, creativity-wise, mind-wise, thought-wise. And once we figure out whether or not there is space or there is a firmament, I know I've been taking a lot of pictures of the moon, but you might be seeing one thing. I'm looking for something else. Trust me. And I was so disappointed about the full moon, but we'll talk about that on another night. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those moon photos, I've had so many people on Facebook and other places where I posted a few of them say such lovely things. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really do, because they're my first ever moon images, if you like. And I've got to say, the camera, which just happens to be beside me because I've taken a few other images today with it. This is the camera that I am using. It is a Nikon P1000. It takes some amazing images, and I have taken some images of the worksite today and whatnot, but I took this out of my window of a bird that was probably 70 meters away, Now, I know you're all going to say what kind of bird that is and how shitful it is. I know, couldn't find any other birds, unfortunately. It's the only bird I could see. And all I can say is thank the Lord there isn't a slug gun on the camera. Although that would be bad. I don't know if you're allowed to shoot these ones either. But Indian miners, I think that is, and the imported Indian miner, not the Australian Indian miner. But yeah, interesting. It does take a very nice close-up shot. All good and good. Let me put this down somewhere where it's going to be safe. Pardon me while I look at what I'm trying to do here. And yes, showed you the bird. That's all good. What else did I have to show you here today? I don't think I've got any video left. Let's go to the chat and see what's going on in there. Oral Sabin vaccine, Paul Revere. That's the first comment. Sounds. Oh, wow. Your daughter had chickenpox inside and out. God, I got chickenpox at the end of year 11 during exams or just before exams. I couldn't do exams, but I didn't get them inside anywhere. Oh, God, that would be just awful. Okay, I'm just trying to scan down, see. Katrina. You reckon he comes out of the same factory as Joe Biden? I do. There's been a big change in what's going on there, and I think the change was signified when they launched one of their SpaceX rockets straight up, and it blew up straight up. So those following the flat Earth firmament theory will understand what I'm talking about when you fire a rocket straight up, rather than what you generally see happening out of Cape Canaveral or Kennedy or wherever else they're launching. And what you see, and particularly you see it during a NASA launch, if you like. And particularly SpaceX, I suppose they've been very good at it too. When you hear them call Max Q, right, and you hear the little bloke on the screen say, "Oh, that's the point where the most dynamic air forces are acting on the fuselage of the rocket, and it's the most high pressure point. That's why they throttle back to go through Max Q." Do through that throttle back. And if you know anything about flying, you know what happens is they roll inverted, right? They roll inverted and throttle back. So the nose drops from vertical to about here. And then they just keep going. And there are many, many photos available where you can see the exhaust trail going up and turning left or right or whatever it's doing. Not actually going straight up. So I believe that rocket that went straight up might have been the signal that there is a new Elon in town. Katrina, just my thoughts. Vince, thank you so much. Vince has loaded up some of my moonshots, and I will be sending him some more when I get out and take some more. It won't be tonight, I can tell you. So thank you very much. You can go there and check that one out in the blog section too. If you go across, I think, click on the blog and your moonshots is one of the top ones there. Scotty, I had to think about it before I said it myself, and the only reason I said Doge is because of the Dogecoin that I know that he's involved with. But otherwise, I probably would have called it dodgy. You're right. There's another super moon coming soon. Oh, let's pray for no clouds that night. Please, that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. If the moon is 93 million miles away, why do we get a line of sight to the sea directly below it? These are good questions. Very good questions, SR. Very good questions. That's the Australian miner, is it, Brett? Oh, shit. Well, no slug gun for that one. Thank God you saved it. Well, I haven't got a slug gun, so it doesn't matter. And we've discussed my abilities with the slingshot, so I could damage an excavator with the slingshot, but couldn't hit a bird to save my life. So, yeah, all right. They're the Australian miner. So the brown one, I'm guessing, then, is the introduced one. the Indian miner. We don't have cuckoos here, Daniel. Or is that a misspell? Oh, hang on a moment. Now, there is a video that this would link nicely into, and I don't think I've uploaded it. Let me go and see if I can find it. Yep, right. It'll take a minute or two to upload. But, yeah, that comment, yeah, no cuckoos on the property. We do have at least a couple of koalas, because I heard them tonight. They were absolutely going off. So a couple of males maybe, and that might indicate that there might be a female or two around. Very chuffed about that. We have a few wallabies around. Today we had 2 new births, 2 new lambs, I think, or maybe 1 lamb, 1 goat. Can't remember. I didn't see them. I'm not responsible for the animals, which is okay, cool. Lincoln's responsible for the animals. Have you caught up with the second video today? Lincoln, he's our animal man, and very good at it he is too. All right, so here we go. This video's finally uploaded. Let me just drop that out for a moment, bring that back over here. Right, so no cuckoos on the property and no cookers either is where I was going to go with this. But however, it seems that you don't have to come to Queensland to find a cooker.
Mr. Albanese, on the weekend, you referred to myself as a cooker, and you referred to other people that have similar views to myself as cookers. I ask you that you apologise to all the people in Australia and all the hard-working parents who want greater flexibility in childcare payments. It is a complete and utter insult to offend those people, especially stay-at-home mothers and fathers who give up their careers and a salary so they can stay at home and raise their children. It is also an insult to workers, shift workers such as nurses, police, hospitality workers, aged carers who work shift hours and cannot always pick up their children in the hours that childcare centres are open. Who do you think you are to call these people cookers? And when you talk about a respectful debate, why are you calling these people cookers? If you want to deal with the cost of living crisis, I suggest you deal with the way banks borrow money from foreign banks in this country and then on lend to hardworking Australians at exorbitant rates and exorbitant prices.
We need to be able to have respectful debate.
He then pointed out a social media post by a Queensland Liberal senator. It claimed Labor's gains on childcare helped destroy the family unit and brainwash children early with the woke mind virus.
Cookers like Senator Rennick being able to express views that are completely out of touch.
So, Mr. Albanese, I ask that you have a respectful debate with myself so that we can discuss ways to help hard-working Australian families spend more time with the things they love doing the most, which is their children.
Here's Senator Rennick. Bloody well done. And I'd like to hear an apology, or not that Albanese's called me a cooker particularly, but I'd just like to hear an apology to all of us, for all of us that have been branded with that. Although Cooker Watch, I think, is probably responsible for that, and she's very proud of it. Don't get us wrong. Sort of blew up a bit because we started owning it, and that, in part, was due to John. I think that's been a great thing, to take ownership of the Cooker brand, so to speak. So I was lucky to be able enough to play a little part in that. Folks, I'm absolutely knackered. I've got to go and try and have a shower, and then I'm going to go and fall into bed. Tomorrow night might be an interesting show. Guru hasn't been well this week. We had a bit of a chat this morning, and I know exactly he's had pneumonia, which is worse than I had, but poor bugger's getting back on his feet. And it's been a while since we've had a public chat, so we thought we might. Tomorrow night, the Friday free-for-all. Don't think there'll be too many dickheads out on the road that night. And I've got a sneaking suspicion quite a lot of them will be watching the show.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's rock!